Romans 8:28.
Okay.
The message.
Okay. Let's go.
Peacefully, I speak my mind, sharing the words I find, because not everything is shown to be obvious, like women who are battered and children who are fatherless. Precarious are the decisions being made when people become prison-bound and their minds become the slave. How schools become less influential and more of a fighting territory. How friends become less confidential and more of a gossip story. But the part that's really gory is not understanding the truth that the future really depends upon the significance of the youth. Formally, I introduced the topic of discussion, indulging in ideas for more thoughts without being combative and fussing, no rushing for an excuse to define an odd behavior. More like a conversation to be had that can compromise as a favor. As I savor this flavor of words I must produce, I use examples that exemplify the bearing of a fruit. To create a garden, it takes patience in order for it to grow. For a child, from an adult, it's the things that they learn from what you show. No wonder why these girls walk around calling each other a hoe. Or that niggas and bitches have replaced the term as endearment for a sis or a bro. How bullies picking on someone is a trend that somehow became cool, and the repercussions of that plight result in shootings at a school. Where fights are in groups and no longer one-on-one, where boys think it's cute to walk around with a gun. Where children that are innocent get taken in a glance, in an era that's done more damage losing control for a second chance, making a mockery of what it is to be a diligent worker, but instead they're exposed to videos of how to be a really good twerker. Where pants no longer fit on the waist of a man that stands, and being on a dark street corner is how you can make bands. Money, rather. For these new words created seem fictionary, but every year it seems like Webster keeps putting them in the dictionary. The same book we all have to delegate a meaning, a way of thinking differently if it was something they were reading. A punishment an adult had given to me to occupy my time. What better way to benefit by mentally funding the mind, depositing codes to form a proper use of language, compositing prose of a list defeating a life of anguish. Don't come as you are and leave the same with all you came with. The goals you picture in your life, you write it down and then you frame it. Don't confuse the unnecessary wants to sustain a vibe of containment. It's misused to perpetuate a thought that embodies a higher attainment, when in fact, the display of it all is just for entertainment. Complaining is enough because it's used as a retainment to make excuses just to maintain it. But surely you grasp the thought that a reflection is our proof. The only validation needed is the one that you get from you. So while you're staring at the pinnacle of what you bear as fruit, understand the resemblance looks different from the other side of the shoe. When we look into the mirror and get a better point of view, we can replicate the manner and do unto others as we would want them to do.
Damn. Woo! Bars.